what's up? Y'all clicked on the title, you know what it is. We're doing the 11,000 mile review on my 23 Ninja 1000 SX. Let's get into it. All right guys, I've had this bike for over 2 years now. I bought it in January of 2023. Here it is, June 2025. No, July 2025, almost August of 2025, man. This year is going by too quick. But let's get into it, man. We got over 11,000 miles on the bike. Let's talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, if I have any regrets, and what I think of the 25 model. All right guys, so I haven't had any issues with this bike whatsoever. None that weren't my own fault. So mechanical, I've just been changing the oil on it and keeping up with the tires and adjusting the chain as needed. Now, for as far as electrical issues, I bought a USB port off of Amazon and put it up on the front fairing of the bike, and it shorted out on me. I don't know if it was from when I was commuting to work, leaving it out in the rain, if that made it go bad, or if it just, you know, cheap Amazon crap. I really don't know, but I've put another one on it, and so far it's been doing pretty good. Let me show you that now. So right there's the port that I was talking about. And you know, the OEM one has a simple connection to it. It'll go right in there, plug and play. But you know, I wanted to save $1 or $2, and now I've bought that thing twice. So that's one thing I do regret. I wish I would have just, you know, cried once, bought once, and be done with it. But I didn't make that choice. So I don't know if I've talked about this in previous videos or not, but I was in an accident, or involved in an accident with it. And we were on one of those roads with 2 lanes, waiting to turn left, but it didn't have a dedicated turning lane. I got tired of waiting, decided to get in the lane to the right to go around the traffic and just go further up and make the turn. Well, the lady in front of me decided to do that same thing, but she decided just a split second after I did, and when she pulled out into the lane, she clipped the left pannier. So she had hit me there, and you know, I've replaced it since then, but that was the only damage to it, is it took the hit, the plastics broke. I don't know if I can get the Osmo up in there or not, but that part right there broke. You know, it didn't do nothing to the tire or anything. I kept the bike up. There's nothing else besides, you know, regular wear and tear from just riding it out on the road, right? So speaking of riding on the road, I guess let's go ahead and get out on the road, talk about tires and a little bit more, and about the 2025 model. So like I was saying guys, I haven't had any issues with the motorcycle whatsoever, other than the USB port that I cheaped out on, so that's my own fault there. Other than that, the bike's been running great. The rear brakes are starting to squeak, but that's because of normal wear and tear, right? Let's talk about the tires. The bike came with Bridgestone, Bridgestone Battle Axe S22s. I went through 2 sets of those, front and rear both. I want to say I got about 7,000 miles, I think, maybe 8,000 miles between both sets, and by that I mean, you know, roughly 4,000 a set, give or take. And then I switched to the Michelin Road 6s because I didn't want something, you know, I wanted something that was going to last, right? And from everything I've read and heard about the Michelin 6s, you know, they have a good life on them. So I went with those. As far as grip difference and anything of that nature, you know, I don't push the bike that hard, where the S22 was probably more than enough tire for me in the way I ride. So the Michelins hang in that aspect, but they do have better grip in the rain. over 2 years, 2.5 years in. Do I regret buying this bike? Lord no. This bike's fun. I enjoy getting on it and riding it, whether it's just cruising or, you know, I don't want to say being a hooligan, but I mean, all I can do is just push my limits with speed on it. And even then, you know, it's not like I'm doing anything wild. I mean, yeah, I'm, you know, breaking speed limits, but I'm not doing wheelies or, you know, stunts or anything like that on it. I just, every now and again, I get a case of the zoomies and I want to go fast in it, and I love going fast on it. So the engine, now with this one of the gripes that I've had about it is the gearing of it. 6th gear always leaves me like wishing there was another gear, because it seems like it's still just pulling too high for it. Now the 2025 1100, they've redone the gearing on it, and I think they've done away with that. And by that I mean it probably don't feel like it's, I don't really know how to describe it, but it just feels like it needs to shift again, that it's still wound up too high in the RPMs when you're cruising in 6th gear. And of course the 2025 has a little bit bigger engine but less horsepower, and I believe the torque is the same. That's one thing that I'm not attracted to, is the less horsepower. But I probably would appreciate the gearing for when the zoomies are over and I just want to chill. Alright, so let's see, what have we talked about? We've talked about the engine, we talked about the gearing. Have we talked about the suspension? I don't know. Let's talk about it. So the bike's, you know, 520 something pounds. It still feels good. It still handles good. You know, I hadn't gotten tired of it. The more I ride it, the more comfortable I get with it. You know, the only thing on them windier days, sometimes I wish it was a little bit heavier, and I don't even know why I want to say a little bit heavier, because I don't even like riding heavy bikes anymore. But I do get surprised by the occasional wind gust every now and again. But I don't think I would want the bike to be any lighter or any heavier. And speaking of weight and wind, I did have the, I'm going to say this wrong because I don't know how to pronounce all this fancy stuff, but I believe it's a Givi top case on it, and I believe it was the 47 liter Maxima or something along those lines. Future self put it here in the screen. So I had that bracket and that top case on here, and I got that for when I would go to work. You know, I needed somewhere to put the helmet and my extra jackets, my backpack, my laptop, all that good stuff, right? Well, it was fine commuting to work when you're doing the speed limit, but then when you leave the stuff on and then get a case of the zoomies and it's empty and there's nothing in all this stuff, the bike would wobble. So that's why Kawasaki even said, you know, not to put a top case on it. It's either or in this situation. That's exactly why, because once you start getting into those interstate speeds, you know, 75, 80, 90 miles an hour, you know, the bike will want to wobble a little bit. Which, you know, it got to the point to where with the chemo and everything, I wasn't riding the bike. I didn't like the wobbling because I ended up not riding it to work and just taking it out when I felt comfortable to go ride. So I took all that off, and I don't think I'm going to put it back on, just because of the situation, you know, how I'm living right now. I'm not riding the bike to work like that anymore, so I don't need it on. But the good part is the connecting brackets or mounting brackets are still under the tail. So all I would have to do is line it up and bolt in those 4 bolts and then put the top case on, and it's good to go again. So it's not It's not that hard to take off and put back on. If I want to. And then speaking of top case issues and everything, the side case is the side panner. I have been able to get my helmet. Now my helmet's a Shoei Neotech 2, it's a modular helmet, it's extra large. I have been able to get it in there before, and when I was doing it on a regular basis, I was able to get it in and out easily, and then when I stopped doing it, I forgot how I got it to fit in there. But it also seems like when the helmet fits in there, the way these panners that point in it, it's like it comes in the center of the visor and wants to nick the visor, so I've not been putting the helmet in there, and that's what led to me getting the top case. Was, you know, I just didn't want to mess up my visor. So maybe if you have just a full face, a regular full face helmet, it might fit in there, because I do know most helmets, extra large or large, the shell is still the same size, it's just the padding that's different in there. So maybe the large, you know, maybe another helmet will fit in there is what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to get at. But I don't know, because all I have is this helmet. So I don't have another helmet to experiment and give y'all feedback on. But like I said, it does fit in there, and you could probably just take the visor off, you know, if you wanted to, and stick through the helmet and it'd be fine. You know, I haven't done that, I haven't tried that, but I'm sure that would work. Or maybe it was just, you know, I didn't have it positioned in there right, because again, when you try to get it in there for the first time, like, oh, it's bad. I don't even like fooling with it anymore. It's so ridiculous. So if you guys have a Versys or this, the 1000SX or the H2SX with these side panels on it, drop a comment down below and let us know what helmet issues, if any, you guys are having. Now, as far as changes for the 2025 model, they've bumped up the engine CC. We already talked about that, but there's also two models. There's the regular 1100SX, and then there's the 1100SX SE, which that has Brembo front brakes. It has Öhlins rear shock. It comes with heated grips on it. So that one's a little bit more. The price on these have gone up. But again, I don't think the changes are enough for me to take, you know, a 24 or 23 or 22 model to go trade it in. But I still would like to test ride one, just to see how 6th gear is different in it. What brand tires are you guys running on your sport tour? Tell us down below so we can start a which tire's better debate. Alright guys, if you like what you've seen so far, go ahead and hit that like button. Please subscribe. We're trying to get the subscriber count up over and past 1,000. Let me know what you think of the AI Bigfoot and Mac reels I've been making. What you want to see them do, what you want to hear them talk about, different bikes, different little stuff, whatever. Let me know your thoughts. I appreciate y'all watching. Tune in next time. The next video will be going over the cameras and everything that I use. And also remember,
If you use the links down in the description below, you might get some free stuff using the Instant 360 stuff, maybe save some money with the MBT stuff. All that stuff's free to y'all. Don't cost y'all a thing. Y'all don't have to use it. You can use it, don't use it, I don't care. It's all love, but I do earn a small commission from it, and it does support the channel if y'all buy something using those links. So again, I do appreciate y'all tuning in, and we'll see you on the next video. Stay safe.